911 call for help leads to a horrifying discovery. I already have a bad feeling about this. Let's jump in.
Gotcha. I'm just really a bad person. No, not at all.
I think it's good enough. That's worse than
Okay, dude, just by that reaction alone, in the first, just by, especially someone who's like a cop. And a cop is the type of person who has seen everything. And it doesn't look like this is Buddy's first day on duty. This is the type of guy who has seen the worst of the worst situations. And if you have that visceral gut reaction, if you have that coughing fit based on what you've seen, and then followed up by this guy saying it's worse than a body. Like, there are so few I can't even think right now. Like, I'm trying to go through a list in my head of, like, what could genuinely be worse than a body, but I guess we'll see. But already off to a really unsettling start, to say the least.
A woman in Cedar City, Utah calls 911 for help in the middle of what seems to be a mental and emotional breakdown. Police are sent to check on her, but their concerns turn to horror when they see what's really going on at the property. It's a little past 8 in the morning on July 1st, 2023, when 911 dispatchers in Iron County, Utah receive a call from a distraught woman in the grips of a crisis.
911, what's the address of your emergency? What's going on?
Need to get to the hospital.
Let me get the time for them, and we'll get it started. And how old are you?
I'm 50.
Okay. And are you feeling violent at all?
No.
All right, and do you have access to any weapons?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I'm unprepared to go to the hospital.
Okay, that's good. We're going to get them headed that way. They just have these questions I have to ask, but
Yeah.
you're all good, okay. Have you done anything to injure yourself?
No.
Okay. And do you have a history of mental health conditions?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, many years. Too many.
This is hard because in the start of this, I already know it's about to be terrible. Like, just by the turns, I mean, from the commentary being like, it's, a distress call turns to something dark and disturbing. And then the little clip in the beginning of the cop being like, oh my God, it's worse than a dead body, having that gag reaction. Like, it's hard because, like, also in this first moment, like, if I didn't know any of that information, and that part of me who's like ignoring or not thinking about that information genuinely, like, feels bad. Like, this is someone who also is like, they're 50. They've probably been struggling with mental health stuff for a long time. They're having an episode of breakdown. It's really hard. They're at that kind of point where it's like, dude, screw it. I feel bad. I'm sure I'm about to just, like, take back everything I'm saying as soon as we watch the rest of this video. But it is situations like this where, I'm just, like, wired to feel deeply for other people. I always hate it when people on the internet are like, I'm an empath, bro. Those are, like, somehow those are always the worst people imaginable. Like, it's all those clips of people online being, yeah, dude, it's like, I think it's from Love Island or something. I don't watch that show. I think it's kind of slop. You can like what you want, but it's like, it's a clip of like, yeah, man, oh yeah, I'm just like an empath, and then they're just like the worst people possible. But like, I'll give you an example. When I was younger, I was getting off the school bus, and there was a kid in front of me. We're in first grade, and he fell off the school bus, and he fell down, and he got up, and he was totally fine, totally fine. But I burst into tears because I was so upset that someone I knew, I wasn't even like close with them, I just knew him, could have been upset. Obviously, I don't burst into tears like that anymore, but to give you a sense of what I'm trying to say. But I also know that I'm going to totally take it all back when we see what comes next.
The woman's name is Sarah, and while the operator establishes that she's unharmed, the despair in her voice is unmistakable.
Years, my baby sister's got terminal cancer. And then one of those things went wrong. I lost a dog. And I just kept thinking, if I got puppies, it made me feel better. I just got it way over my head.
Gotcha.
I'm just really a bad person.
No, not at all.
The operator, who can only go by what she's told over the phone, gives Sarah the benefit of the doubt. As they arrive, however, deputies slowly begin to suspect that a dire scene awaits them inside the house.
You got family coming to look after your dog?
No, they need to be seized.
They need to be seized?
Yes. They're not being taken care of.
How dogs do you have?
19.
19?
Yes, sir.
19? Dude. I mean, now I'm starting to like that kind of sympathy I had at the beginning is slowly starting to unravel because like I am 100% a dog person. I mean, my social media handles have been Connor Pugs, not because that's my last name, but because I've always had pugs. My family's always adopted elderly pugs. We adopt elderly pugs. I mean, one, like they're usually potty trained, but really it's because like most people adopt the younger dogs or the puppies, and the poor elderly pugs just need a place to have their life, spend the rest of their life, right? And not a lot of people get them. Honestly, I think getting elderly dogs is the cheat code. Not that that's like a game or anything, but it is the cheat code. But I'm very much a dog person. If you have 19 dogs, there's no way you're taking proper care of 19 dogs. I mean, sure, if you were like you can take care of 19 dogs properly. It can happen, it can be done, but I'm just gonna make the bold assumption, which is probably the correct assumption, that they are not properly taken care of in this situation. And so my sympathy, which like, you know, the baby sister has cancer, a ton of like mental health issues, life is hitting you in the face. That in the beginning, I'm like, okay, we're here. I'm feeling bad for you. Forgetting like the stuff in the beginning where it's almost like the flash of like later in the video, like what's to come. Like if we ignore that, as soon as I hear the dog part, I'm still feeling bad for you, but I'm like, why do you have 19 dogs? It's hard enough to deal with one. Like I've had twin pugs before, and having them both on leash, dude, they do like loop-de-loops around me, bro. Like I'd have to like have both of these and they'd be spinning around and like, that's hard enough. 19? When, especially, I know you're not in a situation to take proper care of them, so it's not looking good, but we'll proceed.
I got a guy coming down from Wyoming. 3 of them are his, and he's coming to get them.
Okay.
So I told him to go by the sheriff's office, figure out where they were.
Cedar City law prohibits individuals from owning more than 2 dogs at a time. But there's a vast gulf between a minor ordinance violation and the veritable zoo she claims to have inside the house. But the number of dogs may not be the biggest problem here. As the EMTs help Sarah into the ambulance, she reportedly says she should go to jail rather than the hospital because, quote, she hurt her sweet babies.
Can I have your permission to go inside your home and see what you got going on?
It's really bad, man. You're not going to breathe in there. There's turds.
Oh, dude, no. Okay, my sympathy is going down to 0. Like, it's going down to 0 fast. Oh, no. I had a realization before she said that. I was like, oh, no. The connection between this is worse. Oh, God, I just don't, dude, I don't do well where it's like, man, cruelty to animals, that is like a bar that I talked about this in a previous kind of react video where a crime against someone who is like a full-grown adult is abhorrent. It's terrible. Like everyone agrees in the punishment. But a crime against someone or something that cannot fully understand. That's why it's like crimes against children are seen and they have a gut feeling in the same way that they have a bad feeling when it's a crime against an adult, but it's just like a different type of gut feeling because it's like they can't do anything about it. And that's why it's also like crimes against animals are lesser in the sense of punishment by the law, but quite often you'll see people react even stronger online, even stronger emotionally. And I think the reason because of that is like, I mean, your pet, they depend on you. If you adopt a pet, like a dog, that is your responsibility. That is some really helpless creature that you are bringing into your life to give you value and you give them value, right? You give that experience, for them and it's a responsibility. And that's interesting that this county has a limit of 2 dogs. Like, I can see people having 3. Like, I follow like this one woman on Instagram who has like 3 pugs, and she's British, and she's like, Sadie, don't do that. You're being so. The videos are awesome. You can do 3. 19 is like, that is like, no, capping it at 2, I think, is a little aggressive, but they probably do that because like people are gonna have 3 and they're just gonna be like, whatever, we're not really gonna enforce this. 19, oh my god, dude, I'm not mentally prepared for what I'm already I'm already starting to think about what this is going to be, and I'm not excited, but I've committed to watching the video. I'm morbidly curious. Let's just let it rip.
Trash, it's awful.
Okay.
It's awful. It's just,
Okay.
humans don't live like that. That's all
Okay.
I gotta say, and I've known it, and I'm not stupid.
Sarah is clearly ashamed about the conditions of her home, but it turns out that the deputies already have strong reasons to dread going inside.
She gave us permission to go inside the house. She says she's got 19 dogs. She can't care for them. They're under animal cruelty. She thinks she's going to go to jail for that. She wants to go to jail for that. But I can smell it. I could barely sit in the ambulance because she smells so bad. And I imagine that if I can smell it, and I'm not even in the house, coming from within the house is horrible. And depending on what happens with her, she's got 19 dogs in a house that has no AC in it, and no one to care for the dogs. So we're kind of in a pickle here.
The temperature in Cedar City that day would reach a high of 89 degrees. The lack of air conditioning only raises more concern about what kind of environment Sarah's dogs have been living in.
The neighbors say that sometimes she opens windows to try to vent it out, but that doesn't do much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, pick your head, then and see what you got, and then we can start working on resources to take care of the rest of it.
You ready?
I almost want to get alcohol pads first. I think that's good enough.
I said this in the beginning, but look at this guy's reaction. Oh man, oh god, and just like hearing like the whimpering and the whining of the dogs in there, knowing what the conditions are about to be, man. Oh, I'm not ready for this video, dude. If you guys click off and watch a different, most of my other React videos are a bit more cheery, or they're just not as bad as this, dude. Honestly, I would click off at this, but I've committed to watching it. We're gonna watch this video. But dude, yeah, it's always it's cruelty and harm towards like groups that cannot defend themselves and are like 100% like for you. So children, animals, mentally and physically disabled, elderly. That's why it's like when there's crimes committed against them, it's not as if like you don't feel it for like normal people, because you do. It's like that's messed up. But it's like just like a next level of like sickness, like a different level of like a gut punch, because it's crimes against the helpless, right? Okay, you know what? I'm stalling enough. Let's get into the weeds of just how bad this is.
Yeah, I need a bath. Oh my god.
Friggin' SCBH. I'm going to switch ones.
The air inside the home is unbreathable, and it takes the deputies a few minutes to recover from even brief exposure.
That's worse than a body, dude.
I was getting worse if I threw my gloves.
Oh, dude, it's in my lungs. Well, let's get Caleb out here. He's gonna have to walk us through this, dude, because I honestly don't know what to do. It's unhabitable, dude. It's absolutely unhabitable.
It's perhaps the best word to describe the appalling conditions of the house, and the deputy uses it again when his sergeant arrives on scene.
I don't know what to do.
Is she already gone?
She's gone. This is inhabitable, dude. I've never even smelled a dead body as bad as this.
Really?
Just open the door. You have to know what we're dealing with. We can't let her come back to this.
If she's got a chain link fence in the backyard, I wonder if we can open the back. I can stop coming out. Look at that on the other side.
They're friendly. You did better than I did. I started losing it right there.
Two things. One, the fact that, like, if these cops are reacting, first of all, if they're reacting this strongly, like they can't even enter, and the other one said multiple times, it smells worse than a dead body. And I'm assuming as a cop, and probably one who's been around for a little bit, he has smelled a dead body. And I have not, but I can only imagine what that smells like. I had to take out, it's going to sound like nothing in comparison. It's so stupid I'm bringing this up, but I had to take out my trash yesterday, and there's this weird, milky, chunky stuff that leaked out of it, and I had to make a makeshift mask out of like one of my shirts. Like it was not good. So that's like level 1. Level 100 is like a dead body. So this is higher than this. Like, I don't know how she was, and I guess it's like, do you get used to, like, if you're living in this, do you just get nose blind to it? Like, don't get me wrong. There's been a day or two. There's been moments in my life where I picked up a shirt, probably shouldn't have taken it off the ground. I'm about to walk outside. My mom's like, no. She's like, that smells terrible. I'm like, what do you mean? That doesn't happen often. Not as much now because I live by myself and I'm an adult now. But I can understand going nose blind, but there's also levels to nose blind, in my opinion. And maybe this is totally wrong, and maybe this is completely unfounded, but I feel like there are levels to being nose blind, and there's certain things where you'll always just like smell it. You can't go nose blind, but maybe this is the situation that proves I'm wrong on that, but let's see how they handle this.
Uniform I'm worried about.
The overpowering effects of the smell inside makes it difficult to imagine how any creature, human or animal, is able to live in that environment. It's imperative to get the dogs out of the home as soon as possible.
There's an owner to the Great Danes. He's coming from Salt Lake to pick the Great Danes up.
Them all those puppies in them cages are Great Danes.
Not all of them.
Most of those that I just looked at were.
Were they? I thought there was like...
They look just like that big.
Because there's this little... This
Yeah,
little
this
guy.
little, but you look back in the back. Great Danes up for that. Husky back there.
Easy.
Stop it.
As the cops try to find a way into the fenced backyard, they begin to wonder exactly how and why Sarah has amassed this outrageous number of dogs.
Okay, that is the question of the hour, my friends. That is just what I keep asking myself. What was it, 19? Like, I feel like after, when I said this before, but when I had 2 dogs, that was a lot. I was like, whoa. Next time we're just getting 1 dog. Maybe we got 2 dogs because they were twins. They looked very different. They had different personalities, but we're like, if we're adopting dogs, we cannot separate them. They've been together like this forever. I'm not separating them. I just couldn't do that, right? And it was great to have them together because they had this great little cute dynamic. It was really sad when one of them died, and it was like, yeah, it's really hard because you can't explain to a dog like death and the concept. So we just had to like let Teddy walk in and just see Willoughby sitting there. Oh, God, it was such a sad moment. But how do you get to 19? To like come back from my tangent. How do you get to 19 dogs? Who's also letting this happen? It's like she's going to her local, I don't know, like 7-Eleven, going to her Five Below or whatever, going to her Quickie Mart, bro, and just being like, oh yeah, like I'll pick up I'll get this Gatorade, I'll get the pack of Winston's, and I'll pick up a Great Dane Hound. Put it on my cart. Like, she's just accumulating these like Thanos with Infinity Stones if he had like 5 hands. Because there's not enough Infinity Stones on here. You need a bunch of hands, bro. Like, I just can't understand. And maybe it was like something completely psychologically, like, I just need to get more dogs to solve my problems. But also just like, what? And I know I'm gonna get more and more angry as I see the actual conditions these dogs are living in, but let's just jump back into it.
Sam, you got a saw?
Saw?
Yeah.
And she does have AC, and maybe it's turned off. There's a plastic cover for the
The overgrowth blocking the fence is substantial, but fortunately, the deputy has come prepared.
Alright. I got an axe.
I thought this was enough. We ain't got much left.
Here. Come on, Pops.
Come on,
Oh,
Pops.
come on out. Come on, puppy. Come on. Come on. Come on, Pops.
The dog's reluctance to leave the house is only matched by the deputy's reluctance to go back in. This time, at least, they'll have protection.
I got mine out. I'll go get it.
Meet me inside. It's okay. It's okay. Come on. Come on, buddy.
The dog doesn't quite trust this masked stranger, but his lack of aggression leaves the deputy free to take in the full horror of the scene around him.
It's okay, boy. That animal, severely starved, skinny.
Yeah, I mean, I knew this was coming, right? Where it's like, you know that the mistreatment is coming, but it's just like, because you knew in the beginning that it wasn't going to be, these 19 dogs are in a beautiful home inside and they're all treated nicely. But it's, I don't know, man. It's just like, oh, that's the other thing too. I think some people like underappreciate what some of these officers have to go through, man. Like, I think that they sometimes like you underappreciate like how bad the stuff they see, how bad the stuff they witness, because it's just right. And you're like, the thing too is like, I noticed they went in like they're counting for the number of dogs, and it's like, oh my god, dude, if like they find some that are just like no longer alive, that is good. I'm just gonna turn off the video. Like, we might actually just not make it through the whole video at this point. This was a lot more challenging than I thought. Like, dude, it's like it should be something where it's like having a pet is like having it's a privilege to have a dog. Like, not everyone should be entitled to having an animal, right? And there's regulation around that. But this is a prime example of where it's like you've not lived up to the standards. You should not be allowed to have one. But let's just power through this.
A dog count. Dogged up. There's at least 8 in cages. So we got the 3 that are out, right? I got 3 in those cages. So that's 6. Whoa. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. One under here.
The home must be seen to be believed, which is exactly what the sergeant has in mind.
Take some cell phone video.
Are you willing to sacrifice your cell phone?
Yeah, it's fine, but have
Okay.
you touched anything?
Yeah. Look, the air. Hey, This is bad. I'll go get mine.
This one right here was a
We
dead
have
dog. He just
19.
went die in there. I'm pretty sure that was a dog in there.
It's a dog. It's alive.
Oh, there's
19 dogs.
There's a live dog in here.
There's 19 dogs in here, Caleb. They're all malnourished.
A local animal sanctuary called Best Friends will help relocate most of the dogs. But that's not the end of police involvement. They talked to Sarah that afternoon in the hospital and tried to determine how exactly things at her house deteriorated to this extreme.
Okay, so, and this part might freak you out a little bit, but I'm gonna read you your rights. It's only because in order to ask you questions about what's going on, I have to read you these first. I've kind of got a little background of your training that you do with the animals, and
Not anymore, but yeah, I was doing
yeah,
yes.
maybe not anymore.
This is a repetitive with me when things get really bad, and when my parents and I went on top of that sort of thing, so I got really lonely, and I got that same dumb feeling that this would somehow fix it, and I can't. Nobody could do that.
Sure.
Sarah may be puzzled by her own choices, but the fact is that many innocent animals suffered as a...
Yeah, dude, this is starting to get kind of annoying because, look, and I get it when you're in kind of these extreme mental states, it can be hard. It can be, I get it. However, this is the most like passive response of just like, oh, it's not my fault. Like, oh, it happens. Yeah, not anymore. Like, the fact that she's a dog trainer and then it gets to this point, like, at the end of the day, most crimes are committed. Here's the thing, too. It's like most crimes are committed due to some kind of mental illness. Even a crazy killer, he might be a psychopath. It might be the way that he's like designed. And I'm only saying he because it's like 99.8% are men. Just biologically, that is how the psychopath trait is typically distributed. Not every case, obviously. But like, it doesn't. Every crime is basically there's something wrong with someone. A normal person does not commit a crime. It does not change the fact that it is absolutely wrong and that there should be some consequences to the actions, such as here. I'm sorry, but like, especially, dude, when even though those images are censored, it's still so sick and twisted. It's like, what little bit of my sympathy just like evaporated with those photos on screen, man. It just evaporated.
Result. It soon becomes clear that this is not the first time this has happened.
Have you ever had a police case about this kind of thing before in Tennessee?
I have had, the Lake County Sheriffs, they didn't do anything because, once again, I was extremely mentally ill. I said, would you please take them? I can't care for them anymore. So they did take them and some things. So yes, there has been some police involvement.
As regrettable as it is that Sarah hasn't learned from her previous failures, there is an even more frightening truth about how she acquired some of the dogs.
Have you come across the 3 that you did have that belonged to someone else?
I saw he had a Great Dane puppy for sale, and he said, and I said, oh, she's cute, but I don't have, $1,800. So, and then he said, I told him I was about trainer. So 2 of them were theoretically mine, and the male was always his that I was going to train to pay for the 2 girls.
In an interview with the local news, Ryan, the owner of those Great Danes, said it had been months since he'd heard anything about the training progress of his puppies. Indeed, it was only when he told Sarah that morning that he was on his way to pick up the dogs that she turned herself in to the police.
Straight up with everybody, but everything.
Wow. Okay. I didn't think it could go more just like, dude, are you serious? But it did. Because I'm not saying this mental breakdown isn't real, but she called it, she probably would have kept going on. Probably these dogs would have died. The only reason that she called her, not the only reason, but the thing that prompted her is because she was going to have to be held accountable for her actions. And this is where it just gets really just frustrating. Just really kind of sickening, where it's like, yeah, probably, look, I'm not downplaying the part where she was clearly not in a good state to like have that existence, but like, she called because she was going to be confronted. She had to, the guy was going to come here and he was going to see what happened. And it seems like since she did this before, this seems like a get out of jail free card. Whereas I'm going to call the cops. She probably very well is having a mental episode, but I'm going to say I have a mental episode, and then all my problems go away. And I would be a little bit more lenient on saying that if this was the first time she ever did this, but this is not. Self-admitted, this has happened before. And the thing too is, like, if the police know that this happened before, she should just, I'm sorry, not be allowed to have animals anymore. If you get in such a terrible mental state condition where it's like you can't take care of them anymore and you call that in, good for you. You're getting them to a better place. You're getting to a better place. It's at least like a 10-year period, or at least go to have a therapist who can say, okay, she's good now, right? Or just like some kind of check to avoid something like this because it's happened before. It's a repeat offender. And people can change, but often they don't. That's the thing that's like, we got to remember, people can change and sometimes they do, but often they don't.
Stop hiding behind shame or whatever, and just say, sadly, this is who I am. I hope it's not all I am, but it's, yeah.
Ryan's imminent arrival may have inspired Sarah's honesty more than her own breakthrough, but it's worth noting that she didn't just tell him in passing that she was an animal trainer. She advertised her business, Pet Pros Behavior.
Look at those reviews, dude. Look at those reviews. Sure, okay, to be fair, it's only 2 reviews. And as a math major, the statistics in me is going to say, it's not a big enough sample size. But dude, it's just the cherry on top that she has an average of 1.5 stars reviews. She got a 1 and a 2 star review. Or a 0 and a 2. Or then not even 0 2. A 1 and a 2, that's what she got. No, she got a 1 and a 3. Sorry, who gave her a 3, dude? Who's out here giving her a 3 star? But just like, look at the ratings on that. And she's advertising. She's running up the Google ad spend on the, oh my God. She better not play any mid-roll ads on any of my channels. I mean, this channel doesn't have ads yet, but when it does, I better not see any from her, dude.
Your services on Facebook and elsewhere, offering in-home and remote training sessions for a premium price. The police report states that Sarah's house and even the inside of her car was covered in feces. Ironically, the only part of the property relatively free of feces was the yard. Sarah tells the deputies that she hasn't been able to properly feed and care for the dogs for at least 3 or 4 weeks.
Dude.
An admission that at least partially explains the condition of her animals and the disaster that is her home.
I can say that I have no idea how you lived. Because when I opened the door to your house, I could not even go inside.
Every day.
Were you living in the house or were you living in your car?
In the house.
Where did you sleep?
I slept on the couch. But yeah, no, it burns my eyes when I get home. I hate it, but I'm like, you know what? You freaking did it. You deserve it. Deal with it, you know? So I do.
If Sarah is saying she deserves the consequences of her actions, it's something that she and the deputy can agree on.
I'll be honest with you. I'm going to press criminal charges upon you. Okay? From what I could observe within dogs, no dog should have to go through what them dogs went through. Them dogs would probably be better off, and some of them might not make it. They're in such conditions as so. Okay, so
In addition to the horrific injuries already mentioned, the police report goes into much more detail, noting that all 19 dogs appeared to be skinny with all skeletal bones showing under the skin. It goes on to say that most of the dogs could not stand or move properly because of the tight living conditions, which brought about body deformities. A few dogs, the report states, were close to death. Sarah Mills pled guilty to 9 counts of cruelty in October of 2023, roughly 4 months after her call to 911. She was ordered to pay a fine of $690, serve 60 days in jail, and spend 12 months on probation. Sarah was given the option to serve her jail sentence in increments of 5 days per month. And
Yeah, well, at least there was some consequence. And I hope in addition she's never allowed to own animals again. I think that's at a minimum. And watch one of the videos on screen. They're definitely more cheery, or at least not as just terrible as this one. So click one of the videos on screen. I'll see you in the next one.